All right, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live on SABC 2 and SABC News Channel 404. Now, Umalusi, which is the Council for Quality Assurance in General and Further Education and Training, says it has once again fulfilled its legislative mandate in relation to the quality assurance of the management and administration of the exit point examinations. The Matric watchdog has approved the release of the 2016 Matric exams at a media briefing in Pretoria yesterday. The council says there has been a substantial increase in the number of progressed learners who passed through the system despite failing, which they're comparing that to last year, of course. We are taking the conversation further with Umalusi CEO Dr. Mafu Rakometsi. Dr. Rakometsi, good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Good morning, colleague, and good morning to our viewers.
Thank you so much for coming through. Now, just before we get into, the actual details of yesterday, talk to us about the elements that are looked into or considered before Umalusi can actually say that the exams were fair and credible and valid as well.
Well, what we do is that all the papers that are going to be written are approved by Umalusi. They are set by the different assessment bodies. And once they would have set them, there is internal moderation in that assessment body. They then bring the papers to us to externally moderate the papers as a quality assurer. And once we are satisfied that the papers meet the subject assessment guidelines and all other prescripts, we approve the papers. They receive an Umalusi stamp of approval. At the point of the writing of the examinations, we also monitor the process. We do oversight. We go all over the country and we check that the examination papers are being written according to policy. At the point of marking, we also verify the marking to check that marking is happening according to the memorandum, and that all the markers that have been appointed qualify to mark the script of the children in terms of their qualifications and their experience. Once the marking is completed, we have the data capturing, which is the capturing of marks of the learners. We also have to ensure as Umalusi that there is double capturing. What it means is that you'll have capturer A capturing the same mark sheet, and then capturer B capturing the same mark sheet, so that there is no variance between their capturing. Once there is variance, they have to confirm and check where they differed, because one of them would have made a mistake.
So it is a process.
It is
Every
a
step
long
of the way
process.
Umalusi is always there.
It is a long process.
But then how does the council approve the results in the Rakometsi, whereas there are still some investigations pending on paper leaks in Gauteng and Limpopo, and of course the allegations that there was learner copying in the KwaZulu-Natal province? We
approve the results because those irregularities are limited to specific places. We are able to isolate them and say, is Limpopo this area, it is Gauteng this area. So it is only in the instances where we've been able to identify the culprits in that manner, where we say we block their results, but because there's been no systemic irregularities system-wide, we say, as for the rest of the country, we are releasing the results.
So as it is now, the results of the learners who are implicated in these scandals have been blocked. They're not going to be released with the rest of the results.
No, they've been
all right. Now, the class of 2016 was the third grade 12 cohort to write the final examinations under CAPS. And we've actually seen an increase, about 40,000 learners who passed as compared to the previous year.
I don't know the number of learners who have passed. Yeah. The minister is the one who's going to be announcing the pass rates next week. What we have observed are the trends in the individual subjects, because Umalusi standardizes the individual subjects so that we look at the patterns over the past 5 years, and then we compare those patterns with the raw marks of this year. What we can comment on only is the pass rates of the subjects. The minister will look at the overall...
but things are not looking good for mathematics.
Well, we looked at mathematics as a subject. Things are not looking good, but I'll not be too quick to be conclusive on the matter. Because as you look at any subject, you're looking only of the 75% of the component. 25%, which is school-based assessment, still has to be factored in. So the minister is the one who can confidently comment about all these things.
Yeah, because I do know that there is a growing concern on the performance of learners in mathematics specifically, and there hasn't really been any progress, as the chairperson was saying yesterday, and also elaborating further on the 20% pass rate, because everyone was going crazy saying that how could the pass rate for mathematics be 20%? Can you just clarify the issue for us?
Can I just clarify the issue, though it is not in my space, but I'll comment in my personal capacity. The pass percentage in grade 9 remains 40.
All right.
But the department is saying If you get anything less than 40, up to 20%, you'll be allowed to progress to the next race, but you'll not be allowed to do mathematics. Okay. That's what the message is. The pass rate remains 40. It has not been reduced to 20.
And we've also seen a lot of learners sort of taking cover with maths literacy instead of your normal pure mathematics. But it looks like things are not even looking good for maths literacy as well.
Before 2014, learners used to fare much better in maths lit.
Yes.
It used to be a softer option. And what the chairperson was saying yesterday is that our observation is that maths literacy is competing at the same level as mathematics. So it is no longer a softer option.
Yeah. And how has the performance been on other subjects?
The performance in other subjects has been fairly good. In the majority of the subjects, that's our observation, that the system is improving, the system is growing. There are a number of interventions that the department is employing in the different provinces. And I want to say those interventions are, in my own view, beginning to yield some dividends.
Now, the council is also impressed, Dr. Rakometsi, with the marking system, rather, by the Department of Basic Education. How does this contribute towards the credibility of the results themselves? It does.
It does. What happens is that a marker would mark, and then a senior marker will come and control his marking. Now, there is a margin that is allowed of difference. Now, once that margin of difference is exceeded, the marking of the marker is rejected. So that then it means that there are controls to ensure that learners are not cheated. That gives credibility to the system to say what you get is what you have honestly received.
So everything has been double-checked.
Yes.
All right. Dr. Rakometsi, thank you so much for your time and all the best for 2017.
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There you have it. Umalusi CEO Dr. Mafu Rakometsi talking to us about the council approving the 2016 Matric results. And we've seen on our bulletin that the Independent Examination Board, IEB, is boasting a Matric pass rate of 98.67% this year, up from 98.30% last year in 2015.